Hello, welcome to yet another Paris haul. This time we have a flea market haul. I went to Porte de Vanvas. I'll write it here on the screen. Was very good. It was like my local antique market and Portobello Road had a baby. It was fancier than I'm used to. I did get shouted at once for taking a picture because I've only since learnt afterwards you're supposed to ask. But in my defence, there was like only a couple of like child-sized mannequins hanging up, and there was nothing else on the tables, and there was no one near the stall. So even if I couldn't find anyone to ask. But I didn't let it ruin my day. I just carried on walking. Everyone else was lovely who was there. So yeah, and the people who I did film some little bits of, I did buy from them. So yeah, they seemed to call it. But I thought I'd share with you my goodies I did pick up at the flea market. I will say I enjoyed it, but I did enjoy the small one I went to last time at Place Monges, M-O-N-G-S. It was much smaller than local, so yeah, so it was nice going to a big one, but I think I prefer the little local ones, and I'd rather do one or two of them than go to a bigger one. So, but it was a very fun learning experience, and I did get some nice bits and pieces, and let me show you what I picked up. First of all, I want to unfold it because it's ridiculously big. You can tell by how many times it's folded over, and it's even sewn to join the bits together. I have this ridiculous sized French linen tablecloth, basically, with a really cool chain stitch bits through it. I plan to use this as some really quality fabric. This was €5 for all this fabric, so yeah, so I was like, that will make some wonderful clothing. And it will be much nicer to be able to make my own clothing out of old fabric than it was to buy the clothing, the older clothing at their prices. I did pick up some old clothing, but I got it in vintage shops, and it was €1 a piece. So yeah, I'll share that in my next video. For now, we're on the flea market. I picked up this Art Nouveau pewter jug. It would have had a glass insert inside of it that obviously does not exist anymore, but I love the fact that without it looks like slightly skeletal, and having been a lover of Art Nouveau for a lot of years, and I have some really lovely little bits and pieces, and yeah, it was nice to pick up some in France. So yeah, so I got this for €10, which I thought was really good actually for a little pewter bit, and it's very complicated. I like the patterning on it as well, it's very pretty, so I was very happy with that, and it is original, of course. I do have a list on my phone of prices I can double check. So yeah, so no, that was €10. I got this tailor's ham for €10. There's the most wonderful little French tag on it, and it is from Paris. I'll show you it. I'll scoop it actually over. No, it's not gonna. See if it's there. But there's a little tag on it. I'm not sure if it's gonna focus. Come on. My camera's having a day, it doesn't want to focus on anything, but the little tag on it saying, you know, Prudence, Paris. And yeah, it's obviously really gutsy wood, really nice. Fabric covered up here with little tape and studs, and you use it to iron and sort out arms and trousers. So yeah, but for €10 it was fun to get some sewing stuff that can be useful as much as display. So I thought €10 for that, and it is very heavy, so it's really good quality wood. And then also for €10, just check. Yep, I'm showing you basically the pricier things first, and then I'll go down. €10 is the most I spent on anything. Did not go. Oh no, I lie. Well, there's technically single things, but yeah, €10 per item. The most I spent on anything. I got this palette for €10, which I thought is amazing, and I'm just gonna hang it on the wall. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I thought this was very apt to buy. So I got that, and then I also got apart from the Art Nouveau, the most Parisian thing I could have got: a snail. Not just any snail. It's a snail with little forks to eat snails with. The snail picks. And yeah, there are 6 of them in there, and yeah, he's just amazing, and I could not leave without him, so he's going to be on my shelf as just perfection. So yeah, so I was like, I've got some really proper, you know, Parisian based things to sound smarmy and a bit bougie. I don't mean to, it's just I feel fancy. Who wouldn't buy in these kind of things? There was this wonderful fabric and linen and, you know, sewing stuff dealer, and they had lots of big baskets of things that were 3 for €5, and then they had several bundles of other stuff. So I got these were the 3 for €5 things I got. Obviously I'm going to very delicately wash these and see if I can bring them up a bit, but they're the most wonderful embroidery, and they look like they would have been on like plant stands. But yeah, beautifully embroidered, and I will obviously find a use for them, apart from just being lovely. And there's this one which has got a little hand crochet inside it, and again, looks like it was, you know, the perfect size and shape to be on top of, you know, a plant stand of its time. So that one, and then also as part of the 3 for 5, I got this. It's, where are we? It's this long, so it's doubled over at this length. Handmade lovely lace, which I thought was really pretty. So those were €5 for those 3 bits, and these 2 were 15, but I feel really fancy. Because yeah, this is just so pretty, and such wonderful craftsmanship in it, and yeah, there's quite a chunk of this. So but yeah, I just think it's so lovely. So I got that sort of broderie anglais trim edging, and then I got this handmade lace, and it's the most beautiful thing, and there is quite a lot on this card. So yeah, so €15 for the 2 of them. It says they're 3.60 meters, which is a lot. And I thought that was a really good deal on such beautiful antiques. So that's where I spent the most money, was this little fabric store. I did take some little clips that will be in, you know, Paris, in my Paris vlogs day 2, because I went there Saturday morning. Where are we? We're on to little bits. So I got myself a magnifying glass for €5. Oi, oi. I thought it'd be very sweet on my shelf, and yeah, it does have a big old chip out of it. You see it there, but doesn't matter. Bit of a wipe. It'll look very interesting on a shelf. So yeah, so I've got that for €5, and then for €1 each, I've got a little butter knife. Silver butter knife, which I thought was very sweet and small, quite small and lovely. And then this really interesting little spoon. It's silver by how grubby it is, or at least silver plate. And I liked the fact it was that bamboo effect, and they sell this kind of look in places like Harrods and Fortnum & Mason's for something painfully expensive. So I thought €1 for a cool looking spoon. That can go on my shelf, yes. So I got those 2 for €1 each. I also got this copy of Victor Hugo's Les Miserables Tome 2. If it says when it's printed, it probably does, but it will be in French, because, you know. Oh no, it's in numbers, thankfully. 1950 this was printed, and yeah, obviously it is entirely in French, which is amazing. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with if it's going to go on my shelf to look interesting, or if I might use it for paper, because it was €1. So I'm not sure. We will see. I do not plan on reading it for obvious reasons. My GCSE in French did not help me very well in just basics while I was over there, so I plodded along, but a lot of people spoke English to me because I was failing that well. These were €1 each, and and I got this because I know, you know, love your colours basically. I was like, Burbs, I needed it. And then I thought this one was quite nice because he looks really sort of a bit suave and smarmy, but then it starts off, you know, Chesame, and it's from 1909, which is just so cute. So I got that. Oh, 2 minutes. Hello again. On to my last thing. I got, this is actually the first thing I bought in the market. Someone with just boxes and boxes and boxes of photographs. My favourite thing in the world. They were €1 each, and I got 7 things, and he let me have them for 5, which was so nice of him. So yeah, so I got this picture of Parisian rooftops, which I thought was very cool. I liked these 2 pictures for the perspective of them. This one is a factory, which I thought was really cool. There's no information on the back, but I just thought it looked really cool. And this looks to be, I think it's the, this is from 1945. The Internary, I think it is the Pantheon. I'll show you the back. That's what it says on the back. And yeah, but judging by the names on the side and how they're done, it looks to be the Pantheon. So yeah, but I thought it was a really interesting perspective photo. And I've got this lovely portrait sort of card. This really cool, like, French postcard from 1940. That was really cute. Again, something fun for scrapbooking kind of thing. This family picture, obviously someone's in a wartime uniform. And judging by the background buildings and the type of trees, it looks to be the Louvre, because they have those kind of stumpy trees and that, so that looked really interesting of, you know. And then I liked this lady. I particularly liked her dress as well, but yeah, so I got her. And yeah, those are all the things I got at the flea market Porte de Vanvas. Was good. Not sure, unless you're into very fancy antiques. It was cool to go once, but I think I prefer the smaller ones. Because yeah, I just like mooching, and yeah, I liked the people with the boxes of stuff to look through and that kind of thing. That's where I found, like, you know, the interesting stuff was digging through. Everyone who had stuff nicely out was not quite my cup of tea. But yeah, no, very enjoyable time had nevertheless. So yeah, so that is my flea market haul. If you enjoyed this video, drop us a like down here, and if you're new here and like this, you know, like this kind of content, I do all kinds of various things. These obviously are hauls from my recent trip to Paris, but I'm going to Amsterdam in a couple of weeks time, so hopefully I will be doing a couple of flea markets there as well, so there will be a couple more hauls to be coming in the future. But you know, if you enjoy this kind of thing and, you know, want to see a little bit more from some more of my future adventures, local as well as far afield, drop us subscribe down there. Thank you so much if you're already subscribed. Thank you so much if you are already subscribed and watched. Thank you so much for coming back. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye.